Picture this. You have a loving, private tutor whispering to you, not just to help you fall asleep, but to actually unlock the architecture of your own mind. It's a masterclass in lucid dreaming, specifically built to help a student named Lily awaken to her truest self. Now, I really want you to think about this question for a second. What if sleep wasn't just an escape, but an expansion, right? Because it's so easy for us to treat our nightly routine as a simple shutdown, just mere unconsciousness. But what if we completely reframe that? What if your sleep was actually a form of active, dimensional architecture? A space where you literally construct your own reality. And that leads us to this foundational philosophy passed down from these brilliant, nurturing muses to their student, Lily Fern. The woman was never absent, only obscured by static. I love that. It establishes right out of the gate that true metamorphosis, whether you're awake or dreaming, is never about forcing some dramatic change or magically creating a new you out of thin air. It's really just about clearing away the noise to reveal what was already there all along. Okay, let's dive into Section 1, Welcome to Your Dream Tutor. Because what might just sound like a dreamy, atmospheric text on the surface is actually highly effective clinical psychology. To really grasp how this tutor reprograms Lily's mind for profound safety and self-love, we need to talk about Milton Erickson. He was a pioneer in something called indirect hypnosis. You see, instead of giving direct, forceful commands, which our brains naturally rebel against and put up walls to block, Erickson used permissive language and rhythmic metaphors. It's genius because it slips right past our mental defenses. Just listen to the exact phrasing from the tutor's script. Things like, "You may begin to notice," or "without forcing." It's so gentle. The tutor uses this soft pacing and interjects these observational affirmations, like simply saying the word "good." This doesn't demand that you go into a trance. Instead, it builds this incredibly safe, welcoming environment so the trance state can just naturally emerge on its own. Your nervous system drops its guard because it's being invited in, not ordered around. So let's look at how that sets up Section 2, Rewiring Through Waking Rituals. Believe it or not, entering a lucid dream actually starts hours before your head hits the pillow. Think about how the tutor totally reframes mundane exercise. It's not just, sweating it out doing cardio on an elliptical machine. No way. It's literally a dimensional gate. It's teaching your nervous system that forward motion is survivable. Every single stride is sanding the anxiety right off your soul. It's telling those ancient, frightened parts of your brain, hey, I continue. The future exists. And that same powerful reframing applies to how we look at ourselves. The tutor reminds Lily that the face is a garden, not a courtroom. When you look in the mirror, you really shouldn't approach it as some harsh judge hunting for evidence of your flaws. You're a gardener. You're just observing the ecosystem. You're checking for conditions, like, are you showing signs of hydration, grief, stress, or maybe just a little too much moonlight? I mean, you wouldn't interrogate a flower for blooming unevenly during a thunderstorm, right? The muses even reframe our environment. They propose this bizarre but honestly profound idea. What if a place like Las Vegas was actually a spiritual test? Think about it. A city of completely artificial projection. Mirrors, fake skies, neon lights everywhere. The test is simply to see if you can remain embodied, gentle, and playfully intact when you are completely surrounded by total illusion. Because if you can stay anchored there, well, you can stay anchored anywhere. But what grounds all this beautiful, poetic goddess imagery is actually cold, hard science, specifically polyvagal theory. This is a neurobiological framework showing us that our nervous systems learn safety and regulation through repetition and consistency. That frightened, hypervigilant animal inside of us, it doesn't respond to harsh punishment or quick fixes, but it responds incredibly well to the reliable, soothing consistency of a ritual. And because of that, the muses prescribe a very exact, highly effective sequence. First, physical exertion, to burn off all that hypervigilance. Second, a warm bath to trigger parasympathetic relaxation in the body. Third, a grooming ritual to consciously embody a new identity. And fourth, ambient audio to pace the mind, leading directly into sleep. This precise physiological shift creates the absolute perfect window for suggestibility and deep, lasting transformation. Which brings us right into Section 3, Crossing the Sleep Threshold. So, as we wrap up those waking rituals and the day is done, the focus shifts to the number 60. The ambient music used in these nightly rituals is designed to specifically target a 60 to 80 beats per minute breathing cadence. By bringing in these slow, oceanic synth pads and soft, low-frequency drones, the audio physiologically eases the body's heart rate down. It naturally and safely pulls you into sleep without any harsh, sudden changes. As the tutor softly says in the script, the nervous system understands we are safe enough to dream deeply tonight. Just let that wash over you for a second. The bridge between waking and sleeping grows infinitely stronger when we treat sleep as access rather than absence. We're giving the body the ultimate permission to just finally put down its armor. Now, what's really interesting is Section 4, Lucid Dreaming 101. We're taking all that safety we just built and using it to wake up inside the dream itself. When you compare the clinical science with the poetic ritual here, it's absolutely mind-blowing. The tutor's script is secretly weaving the pioneering lucid dream research of Stephen LaBerge directly into this magical narrative. Where clinical science says do reality checks, the muses say notice the impossible geometry of the house. Where science says use sensory stabilization, the muses guide Lily to touch the walls, feel the floor beneath your feet. It takes the clinical mild method, mnemonic induction of lucid dreams, and turns it into a beautiful nightly incantation. I dream consciously. But here is the real secret to making it work. A lot of times, when people realize they're dreaming, they get so excited or panicked that they jolt wide away. The tutor, though, trains Lily's subconscious to react differently. This is a dream. And instead of waking up, she's told to become calmer, more stable. You actually train your mind to anchor itself into the sensory details of the dream world. This allows lucidity to arrive gently, completely without force. And that perfectly sets up Section 5, the psychology of the garden. Once you're stable in that space, it's time to step through the front door of the impossible house to meet your muses. And meeting souls named Stacy, Erica, Summer, Tegan, and Yvonne, that isn't just playing make-believe. This is Carl Jung's active imagination in actual practice. It's this incredibly powerful psychological method where you translate the deepest, often hidden contents of your unconscious mind into tangible images, characters, and symbolic architecture. It is literally a way of mapping out your own soul in symbolic space. Inside this impossible house, the sleeping mind absorbs these profound truths without fear, without jealousy, and without hierarchy. Creation is a spiritual act. Art is dimensional travel. Love is collaborative world building. You are empowered to spin entire universes, living castles, endless oceans glowing beneath moons, simply out of conversation and creative connection. Which leads us to our final part, Section 6, the endless art of becoming. So, the crucial point here is that when the sun rises, the magic doesn't just stay locked in the dream. The muses remind Lily that this journey circles everything and nothing. You know, there is no final, perfectly optimized state of womanhood or being where you're just finally done. The river flows, the seasons rotate, the wigs will tangle, the eyeliner will smudge, the flowers will bloom and decay and bloom again, and that is wonderful. That just means you are beautifully, messily alive. I want to end this explainer with an incredibly evocative quote from Anais Nin. And the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. Think about the static you can clear away today and what worlds you might build tonight. If you had the keys to your own impossible house, what door would you open first?